Station, everybody. Welcome, Supreme Clientele, episode 23, here December 5th. Guys, I'm so excited. We've been trying to get this guy on the show for the longest. The Wednesday night shows just didn't work with his work schedule. Finally here on our second Tuesday on the schedule flip. You know we had to get him in the house. Please welcome the man, the myth, the legend, Big Herm. Herm, welcome, bro. So glad to have you tonight, bro.
Station, man. Thanks for having me, guys, man. I'm pretty excited, man. Actually being a fan of you guys, watching you guys. I told you guys in the back, man. It's just, it goes so fast. Like bag and board, one of the best shows to watch while you're bag and boarding, you know. And you think you would finish bag and boarding and the show's already over and I still got more bag and boards. I'm like, okay, guys, you guys gonna come back on.
Oh man, that means so much.
Yeah, man.
That, bro.
Yeah. Really good, man. I hope you guys win an award next year because you guys are really good, man. For real, Station. I vote for you guys.
You, bro.
Hell yeah.
Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate everything you're doing with the ASM show, of course. Yeah, but I'll let you plug your bit later on. But how's your week been, bro? How's everything been going?
Man, it's better than last week. You know, last week was a little hectic. You know what I mean? Coming off the holidays and, you know, with my profession, you know, I'm a bread guy. But, you know, man, my week so far, what happened?
No, I was going to say, I know it was busy, like, these last couple weeks, bro. Like, especially with, like, the Black Friday set. Like, I know, like, because I used to work in a grocery store, and it was like, I swear to you, like, Thanksgiving week leading up to it, like the 2 weeks leading up to Thanksgiving, the worst, bro. Like, the customers coming in last minute, getting like a bunch of items. It's a headache. I feel your pain. Yeah. I definitely feel your pain around this time.
But man, the best part about it is being off the next day. You know what I mean? Christmas is tomorrow for us. You know, you guys know how we say it. Christmas every week for us. So, you know, Merry Christmas early to you guys tomorrow or whenever you get your books. So here we go.
Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah. Yeah, I have horrible Black Friday memories from when I worked at Circuit City, man. I remember just to show y'all like how really hindsight is 2020 and really like a lot of our endeavors are folly. I remember people straight up fighting over portable DVD players made by Polaroid, bro. Like, I remember one Black Friday sale, we had those joints for like $20 and people straight up going to war over those. And now look where we're at. It's just like, it's crazy, man. Yeah, I don't know. So shout out to anybody dealing with work during the holidays, whatever it is, whatever your profession be. I think we all feel a little bit of that burn. Yeah, man. Circuit City, what a throwback. Hell yeah. They were based out of where I'm at, Virginia. But hell yeah. Lynk, how was your week, brother?
I was good, man. Not too eventful to be honest, but it was a week. I'm here. Actually, well, I did get my PlayStation. I won't get into. I felt a little bit like an idiot for a minute, but I won't get into that because I will. I guess it's warranted. But I got my PlayStation, right, and so I'm trying to play games, right, and it's like disc is unreadable. I'm like, what the shit? And let's just fast forward to like 3 days later. I realized I had the disc space in the wrong way. Bro, I was like, are you serious? I was like, oh, it does make sense why the PlayStation insignia is on this side. That would, yeah. Mm-hmm. But okay, so it's designed to be vertical now, bro. And for so many years, like the consoles were horizontal, or you could have the option to put them in the vertical. And sometimes if you left them vertical, they would mess the disc up. Like PS2, Xbox 360, you had them standing straight up, good chance you'd scratch the disc. So that's been ingrained in my mind, like vertical bad, horizontal good, you know? And so I'm laying my PlayStation on the side only to realize that it doesn't do that. It's meant to be vertical now. Like the way it's designed, so essentially I had my discs upside down, which is why they were reading unrecognizable. But yeah, that's about the biggest woe of my week, you know? So it's like I said, it's been uneventful, but first world problems, but I figured it out. Man. I figured it out.
you're an old man. You got that new world technology. You didn't know what to do with it. I hope you didn't mess your game up.
Luckily, I didn't try it too much before. Yes, yeah.
Okay,
games are still good. Yeah.
It's a common error. A lot of people's done that before. I almost did that until I dropped my disc.
That makes
and then I realized I'm putting it backwards. I'm like, all right, let me put it this way. And then I ended up getting it right. Yeah. I was lucky that I dropped it. Now I would have done the same thing.
But you know what? It messed me up because I was like, bro, why did it take me 3 days to kind of dawn on me? Let me flip the disc over. You know, it was that simple, just flipping the disc over. And it took me 3 days to kind of come to that conclusion. I was disappointed in myself, guys. Disappointed. But awesome. I'm glad you said that. You almost did that.
Back there with like with like a flashlight and a coat hanger. Like, what's going on?
Like, I got it hooked up, goddammit.
They don't make these things worth shit anymore. Like, you know. Oh man, that's too funny. Yeah, that's Spider-Man 2 though, dude. I'm jealous. That's so yeah. I hope you
I'm not gonna
good. That game looks ridiculous. That game really makes me want to drop that money and get that system. But
that and maybe the new God of War would be the only reasons I got a PlayStation. But I thought, like I said before, first game I got for my PS4. The one reason I got a PS4 was Spider-Man, so I thought it's symbolic that I follow the same suit with this. With that being said, I have not played Spider-Man 2 yet because I have not played Spider-Man in about 3 years, maybe like 2020. I beat it, but it's been a while and I wanted to replay through the story. So it's like I've started a new campaign on regular Spider-Man, and once I beat that again, then I'll start Spider-Man 2.
Fair enough. Yeah, the story mode is like what makes that game great from what I understand, right? Like the story mode just takes it to another level.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's so good, man. It's Spider-Man, the first one. And then Miles Morales, the tie-in to that is excellent too. It's really good, man. It's worth it, man.
So how many games we got in total? Is it like Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and then Spider-Man 2, or am I tripping?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Miles Morales was gonna be a DLC, but it was like big enough to make it a game. So they brought it out as an attachment to Spider-Man 1. Because Miles is in Spider-Man 1, but he's not Spider-Man yet. You know what I mean? And they throw teasers. He's throughout the game, but they throw teasers and stuff. And then at the end, he gets his powers. Spoilers, you know what I mean? But, you know, then you get the Miles game, and then you get the whole thing, which I'm excited because they announced Miles Morales 2 that is going to follow Spider-Man 2.
Oh, hell yeah.
And he's finally going to be in Brooklyn. So,
yo, that's
wow. Sick. Okay. Is it going to be a second game, or are they going to make this DLC?
Okay.
I think it's gonna come out. It's still technically a rumor. They didn't announce, like Sony didn't announce it, but you know the reporters are announcing that it's gonna be like just like Miles Morales, the game that came out. It's gonna be a separate game, but it's an attachment to Spider-Man 2. So that's what that was reported a few weeks ago. So hopefully it's legit.
Hey, yeah,
that would be dope, man.
We need it.
I'm all here for more Miles Morales. One of my favorite new characters. I think, like, really, like, the best of the new characters that's come out of either of the big two here recently. Just, like, so strong, man. The representation he's gotten across comics and the cinema is, like, unparalleled. Mm-hmm. So I want that dude to keep shining.
Yeah.
Shout out to Bendis. Bendis, say what you want about Bendis. He knocked that one out of the park. There you go. Let's say what up to everybody in the chat real quick. Cheel, of course, is here clocking in from work. We appreciate you, Cheel. Always supporting across all platforms. Cheel, you're the man. Rogue, Station Rogue, what up? Our man Manny in the house. Manny, what up? The man Verno. We got a great show on Thursday with Maximum Overdrive. I cannot wait. Y'all check us out Thursday at 9 Eastern. Who else? Sal, what up?
Oh.
Station Sal. Circuit City, yes, sir. Throwback. Who else we got? Hold on, I saw somebody I definitely want to highlight. My sister came through. Katie, what up? I told her to help me out with the test. Yes. I think this is one of her first live streams she's tuning in for. So what up, sis? Good to see you. Of course, the recent CVCA winners, Melon and Manga in the house. What up? Congratulations, ladies. so proud and so happy for y'all, man. Y'all
I'm trying
deserve
to guys. Is it coming through? I tried to do it for you earlier.
Yeah, that was good. No, it's on point, dude. It's on point.
It's coming through, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. Tebow, what up, bro? All right. Let's see. We got anybody else? Oh, hold up. We got Nick. Nick in the house. Hey. What up, Nick? Station. And of course, speaking of congratulations, you talk about cleaning up. What up to the man, the myth, the legend, our fearless leader, Robbie Billups in the house. Robbie, what up, homie? All right, let's see if we got anybody else checking in here.
Robbie, just so you know, I've started to grow my beard out, and I'm coming back. I already told these guys, but I'm bringing back the curly locks, bro. I'm coming for that ass next year.
Let's go. And you got the Adidas like jumpsuit on. You're raising hell like Run DMC, bro. So yeah, that we're officially putting folks on notice right now.
I figured out why he put that suit on now. You know, there was an announcement for GTA coming out with Vice City. There you go. 80s, back to the 80s. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's right.
Figured it out.
Lynk is the Midwest. He's the Midwest Connect. You're that Detroit plug, bro.
Yes, sir. But yo, Grand Theft Auto 6, dog. Man, I don't know what to say about that trailer. I was just blown away. It's hard. I can't believe I'm impressed. It's hard to impress me at this age, especially with video games like that. But wow, bro. There's a scene in this trailer. Mind you, it's a video game trailer, all graphics, not live action or real people. There's a chick twerking on a car driving down a street, and it almost looked real. It almost looked real, bro.
Like so, IGN or whatever put all those like clips or whatever, like side by side, like from Florida and where they pulled those actual like clips off of, and it like not only did it almost mirror the Florida thing exactly, like yeah, those the clips look so like pristine and real. I was really impressed. Usually with not to like. I'm not trying to take GTA down a peg at all, but sometimes the graphics are lacking just a little bit, you know what I mean? And like how they're not all the way refined or as good as some other games. But in this one, it looked like they worked all those bugs out. Plus, like, I'm very intrigued about I was talking about this last night with Fable on IG Live. God help us. We went on IG Live last night. But yeah, about the couple. I like how they have the couple, like the Bonnie and Clyde story at the center of the narrative. That's something that they never done before. So, yeah. Herm, how do you feel about it?
No,
you a GTA fan?
Oh hell yeah! I'm on GTA all the time. That's just been my thing since the third one came out and everybody went crazy. You know, the first time you go through the street and you punch somebody and they start going, and they start flying. And you're like, holy crap! You know what I'm saying? And then you'll go out and just slap someone and steal their car and stuff like that. I was all in, you know what I mean? Like,
get out of there!
Yeah. I could take my frustration out of these people. They're not real, you know what I mean? So
it used to be the best when you had a bad day and you go and pull somebody out of the car and hope they buck back on you. Like what? Say something, bitch. Say something.
But yeah,
Oh, man,
I thought it was a movie at first. I was just like looking at it, like you guys were talking about how real it looked. I thought it was a movie. Like, oh, we're getting a movie on the game. What's going on here? You know what I mean? Oh, this is like a live action trailer. Just to, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Oh no. I know that because all right. So this is me thinking out loud, but. I know in the last game you played like 3 different characters. Like the main dude was Michael, but you played as like Franklin and Trevor, the crazy dude. Also, now I remember in the trailer they introduced. I think her name was like Valencia or something. Is that the new character's name?
Oh, I don't know that already.
I don't remember.
I'm not sure.
They showed her name. I don't think they showed like the boyfriend's name. So it's like I would think it would be cool if you played like. If it's the Bonnie and Clyde story, badass. Like, there's a lot of potential with that, but I feel like it would be limited to just play as her. I think it would be dope to play as the couple. Like, you know, some missions you're playing as Valencia, some missions you're playing as the boyfriend. But I don't know if it's gonna play out like that. It would be dope if it would, but I'm thinking about the trailer, and I don't think they showed the boyfriend's name. You know, so I don't know if he's gonna be like a main focus. Like he's just going to kind of be attached to our main character.
It definitely felt like the female was going to be like the lead, but dude, like the story you could weave there with like a betrayal or a backstabbing, like you do all this dirt together, and then like some of the later missions, the shit goes sour. I don't know that. Like I'm intrigued by the storytelling possibilities of that. Whereas,
I think we're gonna be both characters. I think we're really gonna be both characters. That's really what I think. Especially when you see the cover or the picture of them, and she's behind them like that, and they looking like like sexy and stuff back there. You know what I mean? So
yeah, hell yeah.
So I really think they're gonna. No, go ahead.
Sorry, guys. I am on a bit of delay. I don't probably haven't. If the audience probably has realized, I'm not trying to be rude or anything, guys. But speaking of when it looked real, busted the doors of the convenience store, and they got the bandanas around their mask and shit. I'm so excited to know life this game, bro. And we gotta wait over a year. Damn it! Why would they do that to me? Let me bitch about that real quick, all right? Because
their hand didn't
the end of the trailer.
Didn't the trailer get leaked and they had no choice?
They probably what happened. Yeah, I don't think they wanted to.
I thought I saw some news report a couple days ago that a son of a Rockstar employee or whatever got a hold of the trailer, and that's how it got out. Initially, there was a leak, and then the official one came. Yeah.
Okay. You know what? That makes sense because movie studios have done that before with like movie trailers or something like that. So I wouldn't put it past them, especially with something this stature. Like they gotta be at the forefront for every type of press or buzz this gets, to handle it. But I don't know, bro. There's many different reasons why I'm disappointed. I feel like, San Andreas was probably debatably their most pivotal game, like that. I got respect for 3 and Vice City, but those were so small compared to the evolution San Andreas didn't for me. No,
as a casual, that's me as a casual.
Don't be wrong, but no. Let me phrase this better. Like I can understand why people favor 3 and Vice City over San Andreas, but in terms of like evolution of gameplay, like there was a subtle, like from 3 to Vice City, there was a subtle difference. Like you could pop out tires in Vice City, something you couldn't do in 3, but you still couldn't swim. There's a lot of things you couldn't really do, as opposed to like San Andreas, where it was like kind of they started adding like these RPG elements.
San Andreas, you could exercise.
Yes, you couldn't.
You could get fat and die,
get butt,
and stuff like that.
He would run slow, bro. My dude was always hefty, bro. I wanted some size, some stature. But I feel like San Andreas is the
made him. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I literally ate so much on purpose with him, and he literally ran and died from a cop. He was running from a cop, and he died.
Hell no! Hell no, dude. That is too funny.
I feel like San Andreas is the model the blueprint that they based 4, 5, 6 on, and I feel like I feel like they should have released Grand Theft Auto 6 next year on the 20th anniversary of debatably their most pivotal game. But a year, we gotta wait over a year. That's just what I'm really pissed about. Like, we haven't even entered in 2024, and I have to wait until 2025. So that's just
2024 is going to be a drought, folks. Just go ahead and prepare yourselves now. We're going to get very little in the way of the entertainment we're all looking for. We're just going to have to enjoy and celebrate the things we do get, and hopefully they're good. I'm kind of tired of seeing these. Not to keep talking about not comics, but I'm tired of seeing these Deadpool Deadpool set shots, like all these photographs, dude. I saw, not to spoil it any more than it was already spoiled for me, but like Deadpool holding what looked like Sabretooth's head, and it looked great, but at the same time, man, I don't want to see that shit. And I don't want to see Hugh Jackman in you've already showed me without the mask. Don't show me with the mask now. Just at least give me some secret. Give me some surprise. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need to see it all with your grainy from a cliff top, like set photos or whatever. That, you know what, I don't know. I would kind of like that to like calm down. But
I think there's a strategic reasoning for that. Like, you know, MCU has kind of not left the best taste in universally at large in people's mouths lately. And it's like, some people say like the quality of Phase 4 wasn't up to par. That's debatable. Some people think it was like that whole year of the pandemic that helped them lose their momentum, you know, the flow they had going on. And I feel like if it's the momentum thing, it's them, because if the only MCU movie we have coming in the next year is Deadpool 3, you know, the only movie, they got to have all eyes on it. They can't lose momentum. They can't, you know, and you know, you could say that the combination of Wolverine and Deadpool teaming up in a movie alone is enough to get people, whenever that movie comes out, I'm going to go see it. But I don't really think that's the case. Like, the world moves so fast nowadays, and we get so much information on a daily basis and about new stuff coming in, that it's easy to forget about something. Even if you're excited about it, you know, we have so much information on a regular basis that easy for us to slip up about things, even if something we might be excited for. So I think like because I agree with you. When I saw like the Wolverine mask thing and the Sabretooth thing, I was like, come on, guys, are you trying to show us the whole movie? I get it, but it's like you're showing these key moments that probably would have been very surprising and happy to see had we just been surprised with him. Like, oh shit, Deadpool just cut Sabretooth's head off. Like, now we kind of expecting it. So
and no matter how cool you make it look in the cinematic format, I'm still going to go. My brain is going to jump back to the today or yesterday when I first saw it on my shitty resolution on my IG. You know what I mean? Like, you can make it as cool as you want, but like, you know, when you do things like that, you cheapen the experience. And bro, it looks like they've been shooting here lately from before and after the strike from like a rock quarry. Like, I know they have set control about who's taking pictures and who's like, it's not like some mystery where these things are coming from. Like, I know there's crazy high, photographic lenses and all that, but like at the same time, it's like, come on, man. Like, I know they're letting these things fly like on purpose, so it's like a double-edged sword. I just I don't want to get to the movie and there's no surprises left. Which it feels like we're getting new shots every day from this set. It's like, chill out, just chill out for a second.
Cool. Do you think like they throw of this? I was just gonna say, you think they throw some of this on purpose and they do have a surprise where they'll throw something like that?
I think they definitely have like surprise. They have like meetings about the surprises and which surprises they're willing to like negotiate. Like, okay, we'll give this one away, but we're keeping this one. You know what I mean? Like, I think there's definitely that's an element to the marketing. For sure.
No, yeah. That's, you know, it's strategic, like I was saying. But I think like, and mind you, all the set photos we've seen have kind of all taken place. Like, I've only seen him in the desert. You know, I haven't seen him in the danger room or, you know, near Cerebro. It's only been in the desert. So maybe all the clips we're seeing are from like a 10-minute scene in the movie of them battling in the desert. You know, but if it's a fight, you could get all these cool action shots to get people interested, but it's a small segment of the movie, you know? It's kind of like movie trailers, you know, trailers, the way they're edited now, it's an art form, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, they reveal a lot in movie trailers nowadays, you know, but it's like designed that way because they know some people are going to latch on to certain, with comic book movies, they're like, we show this image, that's going to get the fans going because they're going to associate that with this. And I think hopefully that any more images we see are only of like the battle, you know, we're only getting brief shots. Don't get me wrong, I would have loved to see Wolverine. You know, I did kind of think if the mask thing is legit, I was a little upset about that because I was like, all right, we already saw him in the costume before the movie. It would have been so cool to see because, you know, we as fans have wanted to see him don the costume in some sort of sense for 20 plus years. So it's like to see him. We never thought they'd go for it. So for that movie, if that moment would have happened in a movie, like it would have just been orgasmic, you know? So, but now that they've taken that away from us, so it's like the idea is there. So if he does put the mask on, it'll still be cool. Don't get me wrong. But that magic, the little bit of that magic has been gone because we already expect it. Let us have some surprises. It's a tightrope to walk. It is. It's first world problem.
Here we are. Yeah. We'll see. I just hope they tighten up a little bit and just leave us something.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Robbie said, "Be warned, Link. If you win best hair, it paints a giant target on your back." Of course.
Oh, I'm ready, bro. Some might even say I'm doing that to look for the target painted on my back. I'm not as kind as others. I will exchange words with folk when they get out of line.
Yeah. All right, calm down, Drake. Don't go back to back on them.
Don't snap, bro. Yeah, no. But yeah, very shocking how those. I won't get into those awards, but I was very shocked by how many people were butthurt at the outcomes of that shit. It's like, go have a Coke and smile, all right? Calm down.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Keep it pushing. Honestly,
they were up all night with that, bro. You can go on any time. They were complaining about the same shit the whole time. Like, what's going on?
Eastern Standard Time, Pacific Time. Like, haters stay mad around the clock.
All that time.
It was wins for positivity and insightfulness. So what are you gonna do?
And mind you, I'm not singling anyone out, but all that time spent bitching and complaining, you could have been bettering yourself. You could have been doing something with your hobby, go reading a book, reading some comic books. No, we want to spend hours bitching about something we can't change. Makes a lot of sense.
Anyway,
they said they didn't care about, right? Like, oh, we don't care about that. Oh my God, that guy won 5 times. What the hell? You know what I mean? You didn't care. Well, why are you complaining?
You said Link is literally bullseye.
Mm-hmm.
I just said when I saw that lady twerking on the car, so facts, Fable, same. Fable brought this up last night. I thought it was a great point. Like the way they're using social media to make this is definitely going to be an online tailored game. Like they want this to be like in the Call of Duty sense, I think for sure. Like they definitely want that. So any chance a Wolverine game comes out in 2024? I don't know. That would be badass though, dude. What was that game that came out back during the? There was that one kick-ass Wolverine game. I forget what it was.
Wolverine Origins, the best movie-based game ever. Yes,
dude, that game was really so sick. Just the commercial for that alone was like nuts, man. That game was so sick. Anyway, all right, we spent enough time.
I was.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to go on a tangent, but I just realized I'm deviating. So let's get to why we're here.
Right, My bad. Right. Of course, with our guest here this evening, we're going to let him start first. Miles Morales, number 12, man. Of course, we covered number 11 when we had our brother Taki on the show. Just general impressions before we kind of get into what happened in this one, guys. I love the art in this one. I thought the art was crazy, but yeah. How did y'all general thoughts about this one before we get into it? Link, how did you feel about this one, bro?
That was a fun start. I mean, I told you I was going to get caught up with Miles based off the issue 11 we were at with Taki, but I think this was for me maybe it's because I haven't been following the other issues, but it was a good setup last issue. I can see why they paced it the way they did for this issue, but I thought this was a fun start. I'm looking forward to more Miles and Blade, bro. It was fun.
Hell yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah, it was awesome. No. Like getting and the action and like the action with the art I thought was so well done. But go ahead.
What was part 2 of this? Because it said part 3. What was
I was curious to that as well. I don't know. Because part 1 felt like unless part 1 was issue 10 and then part 2 was issue 11. But I felt like I don't know.
Herm, do you know what part 2 was? Bad Blood?
I really don't remember because I am caught up with Miles Morales, but I don't remember seeing this connected to the Blade part. I don't remember reading that
same
in
here,
the Blade. So I think of the last issue will probably part 2, but like I don't remember you guys talking about that with Taki. So I don't. I couldn't tell you.
No, like when we left off, well, like this is right where we left off. Like they had been chasing the vampire, and he had just infected the speedster, and the speedster was coming at him. Like we did miss a beat, like picking up where we left off. But it's weird that they call it part.
Yeah, that was part 2. Then that had to be part 2. Yeah, because I remember that. And this is where it left exactly where it left off, where she's gonna attack them in this issue. So you know what I mean, as a vampire. So
I gotta track that part 1 down, bro. I thought issue 11 was part. I probably wasn't even paying attention, but I thought that last issue was part 1.
It was probably,
and that's probably why I was confused by the pacing, to be honest, because I was like, this doesn't really feel like an introductory or a start off issue for the storyline. But I was like, it's not bad, but that's probably why it's because it was part 2 instead of being part 1.
Am I not mistaken? Is this kind of vampires? It's kind of like the Spider-Man animated series, like Morbius from that, where he sucks your blood with the hands or something like that. Was this kind of like same thing with this vampire or something like that? Like that? I thought I read something like that in here. I'm like, am I reading this right?
Was it?
No,
bro, I might be.
I don't think he's like an energy vampire or anything like that. I think he's like a regular. I think he's like a regular old vampire.
Because I didn't see him bite here or nothing. Unless I missed it.
No, but this whole issue is like him turning, this speedster against them and like them trying to defend against her. Really, but I don't think he needs to. And at this point, like he's trying to grow his nest or whatever, and I think like the more vampires he turns, like the more powerful he gets. But I don't know. He did bite her in the issue before, I believe. I don't think it was like any other type of infection other than a bite. But I like Miles's look still. We still got like the look like with the tools that Blade got him and stuff like that. But I don't know.
Costume, like
that joint looked pretty cool. I thought, but
Marvel Legends coming soon. You know what I mean with that new costume.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. That one's worth it though. I'll buy that one.
Heck yeah.
But I like this. Like, I know, like, I agree with what Nick has said though. It's kind of confusing having Blade off doing this thing with Miles and his own daughter, and then in his own series, it's like there's really no like
mention of
even attempt to marry it together. That's my one issue with this. I think this is a fantastic crossover, especially like when you're talking about badass black superheroes of the MCU, like, or not the MCU, the Marvel Universe. Like, it gets no better than these two right here. So, I don't like that part. That part has been a joy. I would love to see more of them. I think there's, this arc was cool, but I think there's a lot of possibilities, or like at least a possibility for another mini or something out there.
There will be, man.
Especially the way that Blade kind of took him under his wing here in this one. And gave him the tools he needed to fight the fight.
I wanted to ask about the daughter because I didn't get to read that last series with the daughter. Like,
neither did I.
How did she become with his daughter, and like who's the mom? Because like they talk about it in the issue. I don't remember if it was this one or the last one, but I remember they have a little banter between daughter and father and stuff. And they talk about mom and stuff. Like, who the heck was the mom then? And how the hell did that happen?
I'm not. If anything, we learned about superhero comics is there's many unfortunately absentee fathers, or they don't realize they didn't have a kid for a number of years. Whether it be, Bruce was surprised with it, but Logan he's had multiple kids he didn't know about.
Blade was in jail for tax evasion, bro. He couldn't do nothing about that.
But no, I didn't get to read the Bloodline series. I want to go track that down.
Same.
That's what it was called, right?
Too. Yeah, it was Bloodline, Daughter of Blade. Yeah, I heard good things too. Here, hold on, Nick.
Is that Hobgoblin?
Her mom was a past playing Blade head. Her powers came up when she got old enough, like a mutant gene. Okay.
Okay.
Nick said, "Dude,
Blade
tongued her." So I guess he didn't bite her. He tongued her.
He tongued.
Thank you for that.
No, you know, and the Blade did they show like? Can't think of his name from Blade 2. Nomak, and he was like the bald vampire, but his mouth split into like
yeah,
2 pieces.
Uh-huh.
Aren't those in the new Blade comic? Those type of vampires?
I feel like they are.
I think they are. Yeah, I think you're right. I didn't read the last one, but I.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, he had an alien like. Okay. Appreciate that.
Okay.
Thank you for expounding on that.
So you can't get licked by him. No, you're
turning into a vampire.
Bro. Okay.
Don't get licked. Shit just got oh shit. People said like Power Man and Iron Fist had to pull. Hell yeah, bro. It's a great comic, honestly, and it's definitely no offense, Herm. It's the Spider-Man book to read, in my opinion. I mean, the art is fantastic.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
although the series I'm reading now that me and Tom was covering right now, a few issues back, it's pretty good. Like it's probably the best art
that's what I do.
of the Zeb Well run. So, I mean,
who's on the art now?
It's Patrick Gleason's on the art. And
oh no shit. Okay.
Yeah, and I think it's his best run on the 4-issue run on Spider-Man, because before he had to do the 2099, he made it look good, but the story was so bad, you know. So this one is justify how good he is, and I love it, man. So anybody who not reading Spider-Man, you could read that arc and you'll be all right. I mean, you'll be a little confused on some things, but it is really good. It's issue 32, 33, 34, and 35 of the current run. So yeah, we'll talk more about what I'm doing with Tom later.
Hell yeah, bro. No, that's good to hear that it's on an upswing though.
Yeah, I don't know what the next.
I'm glad to hear about Patrick.
Oh yeah, it's so good, bro. It's so good.
They gotta stop playing with his name, bro. Like he's been on, when they were bringing him on Spider-Man years ago, when Spencer was still on, I thought he was gonna be like the main Spider-Man artist, but it's like he did an issue here, an issue or two there, and I fell off Spider-Man since then. So you telling me he did those 4 issues, that's like the longest arc I feel like I've heard he's done. Hopefully he's done more, but it's like. They act like that man's not a timely artist. Like they act like they put him on arcs like he needs time. And like Gleason is a very timely, proficient artist. Like he can put out the same quality of work month by month and not miss a beat. But the way they treat him this is what I experienced at DC. But the way they're treating him at Marvel was like, he needs like 3 or 4 issues. We got to give him like 2 issues or 3 issues in between. Then we'll let him do another issue. Then maybe we'll skip. There's no consistency to when they're really putting Gleason on. And I get it. Maybe it's like with Spider-Man, you want like a revolving door of artists for certain issues, but it's like put that man on something else where you can get him consistent work. Gleason's too much of a gem to be doing an arc here, an issue or 2 there. I need something consistent from Marvel when it comes to Gleason.
I agree.
Make it
run on something.
Super creative cover artists too. Like those webhead covers, dude, were super dope. Like
so good.
Just like all the different ideas he went and the like different directions he went with that, I thought it was super awesome. So hell yeah. All right, Link, you're up next, bro. Oh, sorry, Herm. Did you want to say something else?
No, I'm just saying, but you're right. This Spider-Man run is the best Spider-Man run right now. The Miles Morales, it's so good. It's action packed. This old school issue type right here that I felt, that you got here. A lot of action. The new character in there turning into a vampire herself, and Blade taking care of business with his daughter and all that. I loved it. And with Miles and all, I loved it. Team up. There's a Marvel team up in the Miles Morales book. I'll take it, man.
Yeah. I love how like Miles is still trying to help her and like convince her that, you got that super speedy metabolism. We can get you right. And like, I don't know, all the tenets of Spider-Man are still there, but like it's just so much I think of a better story and a more dynamic. Well, obviously with Gleason, you can't say that, but the art through this has been consistently awesome, and I love how Miles has more or less had consistently awesome creative teams. He really hasn't had like a weak series since he came around.
No.
He's like the new Daredevil. Daredevil always has a good series, no matter who's on it. Like we've seen that with Miles now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely, dude. Yeah, absolutely. All right, Link, brother, you're up next. So you want to go Marvel Zombies or X-Men Blue?
Let's go with X-Men Blue.
Ooh, gonna get spicy right off the bat. The retcon of all, or the erasure of retcons, right here, right? So we were talking. I was talking about this with Herm backstage before you joined us. I'm curious to see how you felt about this issue, given that it retcon basically what Nightcrawler's birth and erased Azazel out of the equation and turned it into a Mystique and Destiny carrying this baby together. It seemed like they both. With the biology is absurd, of course. But an interesting retcon. I still thought it had its great moments, and I love the way it was written with this little devil narrator. This was so good. This little this guy on our shoulder throughout the whole journey. But yeah, dude. I don't know. I'll let you get into the general overview of it. We got a Feral Mystique here.
All right. It's gonna get deep X-Men talk, guys. It was, like you said, it was a fine enough written issue. I'm enjoying Spurrier. He's probably one of my favorite current X writers over the last few years in terms of consistency and quality. He's got a fondness for Nightcrawler, which I love, and I dig what he's doing with Creepy Crawler. That's such a dope name, Creepy Crawler. Marvel, let's not lose it. I'll say that. But this,
it's a great name.
Well, it's so weird because I feel torn for different reasons. Like, it's weird to see the response to this at large. I feel like it's like a universal thing. People are kind of torn at large is because when the Azazel thing happened, it was written by probably one of the least favorite X writers. That happened during when it's picked on a lot. Chuck Austin, if you know him, but Chuck Austin did a lot of controversial things during his X run, bro. This being one of them. It was always convoluted when he set it up. Like, there's always kind of questions to be had about the whole Mystique Azazel thing. So Nightcrawler's not really mutant. He's half demon, but it's comics, right? It's comics. We've seen crazier things happen, but it was a little convoluted, bro. This, I feel, streamlines Nightcrawler's origin a little bit, makes it a little bit cleaner as opposed to the Azazel stuff. But at the same time, I'm left with questions, bro. Like, maybe it's just me, but one problem I had with X-Men Days of Future Past was, and maybe this not that it was Bryan Singer's fault or the creative team's fault, was Mystique she's able to replicate the look, right? Not the power set, So in Days of Future Past, when they're saying we kidnapped Mystique and we experimented on her, and that's how the Sentinels have all this adaptive technology, didn't make sense because Mystique can't adapt powers. She adapts the look. Now, they did have a road cut of Days of Future Past, which switched the roles, and it showed that Rogue was the mutant they had been experimenting on for the adaptive powers. Makes sense. But that being said, this issue reminds me of the theatrical release of Days of Future Past, where it's like, I know Spirit has more knowledge than this, but I'm just kind of thinking where he's like, let me stretch continuity or a little bit. Is Mystique? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm lost, but Mystique, she can emulate looking like a male, but I don't know if she can produce the genes or the chromosomes that it takes to, So her producing semen and sperm to impregnate
Yeah, bro, they got wild with it with this one.
It's a little bit of a stretch, but there's crazier things have happened in comics. But I do think overall this is a cleaner origin for someone like Nightcrawler. But at the same time, I had grown to like the Azazel thing because Nightcrawler's blue, he's good. Azazel's red and he's evil. I like the whole red and blue thing,
Yeah, right. And like, to be fair, Spurrier did address it in the comic. Like, Nightcrawler was like, I'm just trying to figure out how, and she's like, how dare you? She's like, everything I've been through. And it was a good quote. She was like, after everything I've been through, like, I'm the only one who's going to determine like what I am or who I am or whatever. And he was like, okay, fair enough. I'm just saying, like, I appreciated that Spurrier at least made that point for us, because it was just like super bizarre how they tried to wrap it up. But it was also, I thought he did a good job of anchoring the story before and after that point, and the story, like in the tale, to make it grounded and believable enough, and have enough emotional moments, especially with this character and everything she's been through, to like, okay, there's parts of this like that are gonna be a lot for me, but like I can accept generally where we're going here.
Like I wasn't really bitching. I was just kind of going on a rant about why it's different. But let me highlight a positive. I did, Mystique and Kurt have such a not weird dynamic, but the relationship is very complicated. There's a lot of layers there. So it's like I felt those layers at work in this issue, and it's cool when you can have I always like to see when Mystique and Nightcrawler can have a little bonding moment, Mystique's a very complicated character because, she was started off as a villain, but, we know she's got layers, bro. We know she cares.
What happened? He just froze?
Doing the bit?
Oh, he's doing the bit.
I got cut off. Was it the MLF? Did she restart the Brotherhood, or was it the MLF? I'm getting confused.
Sure,
but I'm going on beside the point. But it's just cool to see Mystique and Kurt have this nice intimate moment, bro. I'm all for it. I think he knocked it out the park in that aspect. Like you said, he was able to ground this, even though it's convoluted.
He's doing the bit again. Yeah, I especially like this part where like their Destiny and Mystique both go to Professor X for like, we both want to forget this incident happened, right? And Professor X is like, okay, we can work that out. He's like, and I'm gonna block out in my own mind, of course, being that it's a private incident or all. But I love this little line that Spurrier put in there. He's like, of course, it'll feel like a favor is owed. You understand, of course. Like, I just thought that was like such a great line, especially coming from Professor X. Like, I feel like that's really the nature of who Professor X is. There's always something else with that motherfucker. And a lot of times he's just as bad as Magneto, if not worse. Like, so I feel like that was, I don't know, I really like appreciated that. Like,
a little bit of a creep, man.
Even his help is backhanded. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, of course, the nice moment here at the end, and you got your Goblin bringing it on home. But yeah, dude, I gotta give it to Spurrier for somebody who just came on the X books and Uncanny Spider-Man to have the balls to go ahead and like do a retcon like this, though, is impressive. I gotta say, for better or for worse. And I feel like he kind of stuck it, even though it was wild, because part of that is what Claremont wanted for the character. Is that correct? I guess part of that arc. I don't know. I'm not sure. Well, I was reading comments and reviews about the issue because I'm not as knowledgeable on it as you are, and just trying to see where people were coming from, and it seemed like a lot of people were. Is that a Chuck Austin redo, the Azazel thing?
Yes, yeah, that's what Chuck Austin brought in.
So a lot of people were upset about there's obviously a lot of bad blood with the Chuck Austin Azazel thing, and like apparently there's some vein of that that was true to Claremont's original vision for Mystique and the character. So I don't know.
Are you talking about the Mystique and Azazel relationship, or? Oh, okay. I think I do remember hearing rumblings. Yeah, Destiny. I was gonna say I do think I remember hearing rumblings that it was Claremont's original intention to reveal that it was actually Destiny and who was Kurt's mom and Mystique is his dad.
Sal said
yes.
Mystique.
Yeah, it was two kinds. Yeah.
Okay, that sounds like a Claremont move too, for sure. Oh yeah, thanks, Sal. But dude, regardless, I've loved, and shout out to you, Link. This is a series I wouldn't have read Uncanny Spider-Man if you hadn't recommended it, but I thought he's done a great job there of exploring the character of Nightcrawler, his relationships with, and his muddied past, and these women in it, and I think it's been great. I think, with each piece of X real estate that Spurrier gets, he knocks it out of the park. So I feel like that guy deserves a bigger piece of the pie moving forward. I like to see what he does with some more X properties.
It won't happen though, because years ago when Marvel was trying to murder the X line and make the Inhumans cool, Kelly Thompson was fucking killing it with her X-Men books. But when it came time for Hickman to have a lineup of a stable of X-Writers, in my head I was thinking, oh, he's definitely going to go with, he's getting Ed Brisson, he's getting all these people who had currently been working on X books, so he's got to grab Kelly Thompson, the best of the current batch. That didn't happen. Kelly Thompson has not been on a Hickman related X book. God damn it. That makes me so a little upset. But
do we have like is there a Hickman Thompson beef? Like, what's that about?
I will say that anytime I read a Kelly Thompson book, I'm never asking how does she keep getting work. Anytime I read a Teenie Howard book, let me say old Teenie Howard books, okay? Because I heard
Here we go.
I'm not talking, but I'm just saying, go read a Kelly Thompson book, or even
Kelly is the truth, though.
Kelly is awesome.
Kelly is the truth. Like, the Cull has been great. Black Widow is fantastic. Birds of Prey has been great so far.
I agree. It's so good. I heard Gail Simone's gonna be in the X-Men book. Is that true? Was it Gail Simone? Somebody like that?
I'm not sure, brother. I'm not sure. That would
I thought I heard that, or maybe somebody wants that to be. But I'd love to see Gail Simone get a chance too, because I think she's really good.
Black Cloak. Hell yeah, says Nick. No, you're good. You're good, Link.
You're good, though.
We were just echoing what you said about Kelly, bro. She's a beast, and she deserves her flowers.
She is. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Give her another X book, Mark.
All right.
All right. So
okay.
I'll get to my first book of the night. Penguin number 4. Tom King. I love this book, man. Really elevating this Oswald Cobblepot to a place he's never been before. I love the character, the help, that invention. I love where he's taken it. And I love these like one-off issues where we're basically like dealing with this like one big thing, and then we're moving on, but we're also, there are chapters in the story of him trying to retake Gotham City. But this time he's going back to his ex-wife, and it's got this. So sometimes Tom King's narration is a little all over the place and a little too much. Here it's just pitch perfect. The way it bounces between different characters in the story. And like, so we start off with them on the airplane. They're going to see, I guess they're going out to the West Coast, and it starts with, he's on the airplane. He's been drinking the whole time. And then we get in the car and the help is narrating, talking about how scared he's been, how he's never seen him like this, how he's been drinking the whole time, how he doesn't especially enjoy it. this and that. And then of course they've got like their own team of players and hitters set up for this meeting. They got guys watching the room with a sniper gun. They got a fake window washer outside the room. Oh, I'm sorry, the meeting's in Vegas, not the West Coast, Vegas. So they're at this casino that his ex-wife is the owner operator of. And they're going there. So like they got people inside on the card tables. Penguin thinks he's got people everywhere he needs them to be in order to basically make an attempt on his wife's life because he's scared that she might kill him. So we get there, he gets situated in the room, and eventually, dude, we see his ex-wife and she's quite the piece of work. Absolutely. This was a GIF when I put it on the slides. I'm disappointed it's not showing up now, but it is what it is. But yeah, so we get the Watchmen, the 9, the Tom King, he loves to do his Watchmen panels, his 9 panels per page. But regardless, I can't even hate when he does it well, and it's really well done here. This conversation between the two of them, it gives us like a rich little backstory on it. It catches us up on the history, or the history that we need to know between them. Of course, towards the signal for Penguin's team to strike is him laughing. Towards the end of the conversation, I love this bit in the story because you can't figure out whether this woman genuinely made Penguin laugh, or he's really laughing to attempt to start the attempt on her life. But this conversation has kind of put him off his game, and he laughs, and it almost seems like a laugh in response, like he's laughing naturally. And then, of course, the help thinks that's the signal to swing the sword down on him. But of course, like her bodyguard's there to stop him. And of course, the help is known as like the guy who could match Batman in a fight. Like this guy is no slouch. So for somebody to get the drop on him on a planned assassination is startling, and a great overhead shot here from the artwork. Of course, we get further into the story. Further into the scene, she pulls out a gun. Oswald's trying to talk his way out of the situation. She ends up shooting him 3 times, 2 times, 3 times. We think like he's left there in a pool of blood, lying on top of help. We think he's in dire circumstances, but it picks back up with him recovering some weeks later in the hospital. And we have this conversation. You come to find out it was some fucked up kind of test with his ex-wife where he was trying to see like if I guess she was willing to do it. And I love this thing. He's like, you shot me 3 times or whatever. And she's like, you think I don't know how to kill a man? So, and she's like, he's begging her like, I can do this, but I need someone like you by my side. I need someone who's going to push me into areas I'm not willing to go and to heights I'm not ready to reach. And she's like, when you proposed the first time, you were down on your knees. And I love this. He gets down on his knees the second time and he says, Gotham City. That's all he says to her. And like, and of course she's talking about, she's like, oh, but we're going to have to take care of my help. Like he was so good. He got the drop on your man, but that was all part of the ruse, of course. And Penguin promises to make it quick and clean. Of course, the help didn't want to make it quick and clean, especially after he had to play dummy and let this guy get the drop on him when that really wasn't the truth. But anyway, another brilliant issue. So, this has basically been through 4 issues, Penguin building up the tools or the people he needs, really the people he needs to help him take back Gotham City. And so here we are. I don't know really who else we have left after the help and his ex-wife. But yeah, and of course his kids are involved. That, that has ties to Zdarsky's Batman and other things. But I think it's been a brilliant little corner of the DC universe. I think it's really elevated the Penguin to a like I said before, to a level he has. Like, how many great Penguin stories can y'all name off the top of your head? Comic book wise, I can't name a damn one. Like even Riddler, I can think of a couple, but like even some of these random ass other villains, I can, like Penguin, I can't think of any. But this, I think, is going to be like one of those definitive books for the villain. And I think when you're talking about like those Batman One Bad Day books, this is really what they were looking for one of those type of books. I know they wanted to be those like Killing Joke type one shots, but like what King's doing with this character here is freaking awesome. Anyway, Herm, I know you didn't get to this one. Link, what'd you think about it, bro? Did you read this one? Your mic's off.
I did read it, yes. But no, I was saying another solid issue, man. I know it's King's style is hit or miss with some people. I understand that, but I appreciate. He likes to do a lot with narrating. You know, don't get me wrong, his characters will say just as much to each other on panels, but a good portion of his issue sometimes is like inner narration with the characters, and I think that's like kind of where he shines. He's good at getting. You know, when I like Rorschach's a fucked up character, but it's like, you know, with terms of like I forget his name, but the character in Strange Adventures. Why am I blanking on his name? I know this.
Adam Strange.
Adam Strange, yes. Even with Mr. Miracle, you know, he's got a way of taking these, you know, even someone like the Penguin. You know, Penguin's almost character in a way sometimes. He's good at making them adding layers. I like to say that, but he's good at making them seem complex. And, you know, like that person could exist. Or they, you know, I can see why they suffer from, he's good at bringing out complexes in certain characters and making it seem palpable. But no, yeah, another fine issue. I agree with. I was gonna say Nick read my mind, but I agree with Nick. I think the Help is one of my new favorite characters, bro. I would love to see him.
I third that as well. Yeah, dude, and I'm just gonna put this out there. I think King might be great at writing supervillains / like anti. Like I think that's his lane. Like I think he could, like he does great with the bad guys sometimes, and like, you know, instead of always trying to stick him with like Wonder Woman or like these Batman and these like I understand DC wants to put him front and center, and rightfully so, but like at the same time, I don't know, some of these like not I don't want to call them B team villains, but like, you know, villains that you've forgotten about. I think, you know, and he did a great job with Riddler on One Bad Day, the same deal, like just really creating a ruthless portrait of that character. I don't know. But yeah,
I think he's great. He can with heroes, he can add flaws to make them seem like more believable people. You know, like, hey, that's a regular dude doing that. With villains, he can add layers to them to make them seem not like, whoa, I can see where they're coming from. You know, like they're not just a mustache twirling villain. He makes them seem station bad. But you know, he makes them seem a little bit more believable. So you know, I like King. I like what he's been doing with this, and I do agree this is probably going to be a definitive Penguin book in the years to come.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to pick this up. You guys. I like King too. So like, I'm thinking his Wonder Woman run. I think it's pretty good. The people that don't like it, like the Get Off My Lawn guys, really don't like it. But I think, you know, it's like whatever, man. Like.
Yeah, man, it's
making it look
solid,
strong and powerful. Like I understand, like the Amazon getting kicked out of the U.S. and stuff like that. People not liking that and stuff like that. But I think it's a little interesting. You know what I mean? Like they kind of kick her out of the U.S. and they can't. They don't have the firepower to do it. You know what I mean?
Bro.
There's no way.
Like,
you know what I mean?
You can't throw anything
force,
like,
bro.
I love that, and like I love that showdown with Sergeant Steele. Like how he came at her with all that energy, and how like. The gracefulness that she diffused it, but also like the just badassery, like she's
handling
just
business.
Like, look, bro, this is not a fight you're gonna win.
Yeah, and I like how Trevor tried to tell the sergeant or whoever, the colonel, whoever, that he's not gonna win this battle, but he was like, all right, whatever. He's trying to follow orders. Okay, you know what I mean? Trying to make him talk to her and stuff like that. Like that's gonna work. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No.
That ain't happening.
No.
How many wins so far? Is it 2?
We're 3.
Or just the 1?
3.
We're third. We're in the 3. Yeah.
I think the 4th one might come out soon, but 3.
Yeah, I don't know how many he's gonna go ultimately, but But yeah, I'm here for it. I think he writes women incredibly well, man. From like Nick just said here, Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow was incredible. Big Barda and Mr. Miracle was incredible. I think I really like I appreciate the way he writes women. I think it's super empowering.
Yo, I loved how he wrote Big Barda, bro. Because sometimes people tend to write Big Barda as like almost like I just want to battle, you know. Yeah. Thank you, Herm. You perfect analogy. There's a female Hulk, bro. But with King, bro, with the Mr. Miracle series, there was like, you know, she was still Barda. She's still badass, could whoop someone, no problem. But there was like a feminine energy to her. Not saying it's not ever there, but you know, like when they were like laying in bed, you know, I don't know. It just I never.
Yeah, he had that countdown on his life, and like the way she comforted him, and like those last, you know, like took the time to like, you know, not to get too gratuitous, but like to like, yo, you only got 3 or 4 days left. Let's have sex, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, took those times, like those moments, and then like, you know, like with the son and everything like that, she also had the motherly qualities, but also like just the way she was there for him in his weakest moments. I thought like very well done, man. I don't know, and it I feel like it perfectly captures the nature between, you know, the two of those characters, and the nature between a lot of like men and women. You know, a lot of and like the prejudgments off that archetype, like you know, the men are always going to be the strong superheroes, and you know, like, but the women are really the ones doing all the heavy lifting behind the scenes, and it really felt like that with Mr. Miracle, and that was like so well done. I love that scene, dude, when they're in the car together, and Scott's like got the mother box, and he's like, "Hey, do you remember when we first met?" And he's like, Mother Box, play us, you know, play us the sounds from like, play us the music from when we first met. It's like, oh, that's the sounds from the Pit of the Damned. It's just people like dying awfully, and they start laughing together. It's just like they have this fucked up like I don't know. It just reminds me of my wife, that like in that way, like we have this fucked up worldview that we share together, and like we're just gonna live inside that, and you know what I mean. Everything else is just kind of like
it's noise.
I love and appreciate that. Yeah, man. I love and appreciate that. But yeah, just such a. I feel like every female character he does is something different and something strong and poignant, and deserves to be celebrated for sure. But yeah, I think Wonder Woman is definitely going to be one of those all timers when it's all said and done. All right, number 2 for you, big dog. Miss Marvel.
Miss Marvel. Yeah.
By none other than Iman Vellani.
Iman Vellani up in the house. Everybody knows how much I love Miss Marvel, and Vellani. She's Miss Marvel now. Now I can't see nobody else being her. It's just how energetic she is about the character. How she's a fangirl, and she doesn't care what anybody thinks and stuff like that. And she has a knowledge of Marvel like I could never touch. You know what I mean? Like she literally study her stuff, and it looks like she's writing the character kind of like G. Willie Wilson is writing her. You know what I mean? With that feel kind of thing, and that's pretty much what I felt with this issue. Except, of course, she's an X-Men now. You know what I mean? So, like, I'm cool with it. You know what I mean? I'm like, all right, you know. The whole death thing, you know, her coming back, it happened fast, but it worked out for me. You know what I mean? Yeah. So
I like this one. I like how they defeated this Stark Sentinel with like help from her friends and like a little scientific engineering, bro. That was dope.
Brilliance and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I like in this series they always tease you with their relationship, like. Are they just friends? Or are they more than that? But they don't drag it. You know what I mean? It's just a quick thing, and then they good. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. They playing games all the time and all that. And I just love the whole thing with the series, and this comic, you got that too. You got the action in it. You got her getting saved, and then her having to save Bruno too.
Oh
And
yeah,
you got that big Iron Man Sentinel, which is it looks badass. I'm telling you.
it really does, man. The action and the big spreads in this were crazy. They were crazy great. But yeah, I love I don't know, and I love how she navigates what the MCU is doing, like how they've made her a mutant, but she doesn't focus wholly on that, but she also leaves it open ended for other writers or creators to explore. Like she leaves it there, but um, it's not a definitive part of her. Like it's still kind of in the ether. Right. It's still transformative. It's not really tied down to one specific thing. I thought that was really well done for somebody, especially an actress or a celebrity who's writing their first comic to be able to kind of bring all those strings together in a way that's not you're not tying the character down to something that the fans are not going to like. You know what I mean? You can leave it up for interpretation, so people can pick it up or leave it. I thought that was really definitely done for a first time writer like her. But yeah, obviously has a crazy great understanding and knowledge of this character, and that shines first and foremost. Yeah.
Herm was talking about her knowledge of comics, bro. She's 16, 17. It's impressive, but she actually called out the MCU and Kevin Feige. Something that's bothered me is MCU started to call their movies, reference their movies. Bro, get the fuck out of here with that, right? There's only 61616, and it's in the comics. You guys maybe are 6160, 6161, but you're not 616. Stop that. I'm glad she called him out on that because that's how us fans feel at large, all right? Find your own designated universe. You're not 616, Feige. I respect everything you've done, but you're not 616.
Not 616.
Hell no. Yeah. I love that. That's a red carpet interview where she's like, boy.
Call him out on the BS.
yeah.
But I think this, for I kind of, I don't care what other people say, but I will follow other reviews to see what the general word of mouth is. People have kind of been ragging on this a little bit, and I think this is like I said, she's a 16, 17-year-old girl, bro. Her knowledge base at that age is very impressive. So I think this is a very fine, especially her first comic series, dog. I think people can be extremely harsh sometimes when you got to take certain things into consideration. And this is a fine debut series for someone who's it's her first comic series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Absolutely.
like how she connected when she connects with Emma Frost, and Emma Frost is trying to navigate her about being an X-Men, and tell her not to do things and tell her to hide, but she don't care. She puts the suit. In the other issue, she put the suit on and all. She exposed herself, and now she's being hunted like a mutant. And she was Emma Frost trying to tell her you can't do that as a mutant. The things she's telling her, I was a mutant. I was an X-Men Avenger. I was all these things. You can't tell me. Pretty much in a way, not telling her that, but in a way with her actions, you can't tell me that I can't change things because I'm different. And she knows she's special, but she's not. She doesn't have a big ego about it, stuff like that.
Yep.
And I think in these issues, Vellani addresses that. You know what I'm saying? And I think it was well done. And I love the picture you just showed with her at Jersey City, looking at the city. That's old school.
Oh yeah, sitting on the lamppost. Yeah, bro.
They did that on the show, and G. Willow Wilson. That's what she was doing, stuff like that when she was about when she became a hero
dope,
and stuff.
Dude. Hell yeah, I didn't know
she
that.
She did that as Miss Marvel, and now she's doing that Miss Marvel the X-Men. You know what I mean? It's just she's catching every little thing from all the runs, not just Ahmed and all those guys, and she implements it on her issues and stuff like that. So it's so good, man. So good.
That's fire, bro. And all honestly, all the reviews I saw were pretty favorable for this. This is issue 4 of 4?
4, yeah, 4 of 4.
Yeah.
Which I want to see
Everything
more
I saw
now.
was yeah, man.
I'm
Everything I saw was good about it. Though.
I might
Yeah,
be
shout out to her,
viewing the negative Nancy's, bro. So I'm gonna
dude, that's
find
what you
new
want.
reviewers.
That's what you want for every like. If somebody gets cast as Doctor Doom, I want him to be like that. I want him to be like obsessively knowledgeable about the character, be able to write a fucking 4-issue miniseries that like is generally pretty good. You know what I mean? Like, we should hope that every MCU actor is like that awesome. And so shout out to her, dude. That girl deserves all the flowers. I hope. And like Nick said, I know Nick has said it, and other people have said like, Herm, have you seen the Marvels? I know she's like the bright spot of that. Yeah, she's
she was so good. I thought she was excellent in it.
Hell yeah! So I hope she continues to get time. Like regardless of how the Marvels performs or doesn't perform, I hope she continues to get time in that character. Like, because she's great. So.
And she acts like a fangirl with Captain Marvel and all that. But still, when things were wrong, she still questioned her in the movie and stuff like that. But still, she's a fan. She still loved her. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Miss Marvel. You know what I mean? She can forgive you still. You know what I mean? And she doesn't have that. I know what's his name says. I love women with big ego. That's Emma Frost. You know what I mean? But Miss Marvel.
That's facts, though.
She's Miss Marvel is very prideful. That's what it is, and she tries to do the right thing. Spider-Man, Peter Parker-ish. That's what it reminds you. That's why they call her the modern day Spider-Man. And the Get Off My Lawn guy is like, no, is he not? It's just like, nah. I understand it. Like, if you read the G. Willie Wilson run, you would understand her a little more and why you would like an issue like this, or the TV show where they touch a lot on her run in there. You can spot some of the parts in the TV. That's pretty much why I liked it. A lot of people didn't, but I liked it. So
no, I love that TV show. Bro.
Yeah, I thought. What else do you want? It's a kids show.
Seriously,
trying to, still trying to please us too. You know what I mean? So
yeah. And the fact that my daughter loves it, like, it just makes me like it even more. Like, because that's who it's made for, ultimately.
Yeah.
It's like young girls who are, whether they're of Alani's ethnic background or not, it's hard for young girls to find their place in the world, man. Girls are mean, dude. Yeah. More so than boys.
Yeah.
Well,
especially now.
I want.
Yeah. So,
so they're able to speak out more now and stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
To find your place in the world, regardless of whether you come from white middle America or wherever, is no walk in the park. But yeah, chill. Don't get caught up like Scott Summers out here, bro. We love you. We don't want to see you go down that, bro. I love women with big egos too, but hell yeah. All right. Next up for you, Link, Marvel Zombies #2. Link went back to back with the Marvel Zombies pick. So I gotta admit, I was surprised, Link. What made you go back to back with the Marvel Zombies pick, my brother?
It's convenience, a little bit mixed with convenience. I figure with these anthology stories, it's easier to break. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. It's like, all right, I got 3 short stories. It's easier for me to knock out their story. Like, all right, I knock out 1 short story, give myself a little break, and knock out the second short story. Sometimes with a single issue, I can get distracted, bro. And this was just I enjoy Marvel Zombies, but a little bit of convenience factored into this quite a bit. And I do love that that Guardians of the Galaxy cover right there. But no, it's an anthology book. I figure it's easy for everyone to it's not too heavy, because I know sometimes people might get coming on here, you get stressed out like, oh, I haven't read that book, but I want to get caught up. Like with this, you can if you didn't read one of the stories, but that's okay. You just read the story that you liked in an anthology series. So I figure anthologies are easier to kind of touch and go basis. But this was fun. This was another fun one. I'm curious to know what you guys' favorite story was.
I was about to say, let's rank these stories. I think for me, the art on Warpath was the winner, but the story for Under the Eye of an Unkind Future was pretty dope. I thought the story of Reed Richards in complete isolation, like not even wanting to waste 2 minutes on a phone call with his kids because it would take away from brain power and resources on trying to find a cure for the zombie disease, was like completely believable, and as what we know as Reed Richards. I just thought it was like really well told from beginning to end. The Fantastic Four drops him off at this spire at the beginning, and it's like this like outpost. It looks like we're on a moon or another planet or somewhere
the negative zone.
It could be, bro, because he's definitely like, it seems like he's cut off from most. But anyway, yeah, him and Herbie are trying to work on a solution for the zombie disease, and like this is like part of what I'm talking about. On the right here, he has this conversation with Iron Man, where Iron Man, what does he call it? He's like, gossips, and like all you're doing is gossiping and pleasantries and gossip. You wasted 2 minutes that I could have been spending on a cure for this disease. But basically, we get the feeling that him, Iron Man, and only a few others are the only ones left in humanity. Iron Man is hermetically sealed from the disease, so he's okay for the time being. Reed's physiology enables him to elongate the time it takes for the disease to take hold. So, in the meantime, he's trying to find a cure for this. I guess as is Tony. But in the end, what he figures out that he can bombard the Earth with cosmic rays to make. His solution. We never really figure out if his solution that he came up with Herbie is a winner or not. He sends it off to Tony,
right?
And they're gonna have production for the solution or whatever. But and then we see Reed up on the station, and the virus is kind of finally overtaking him. But yeah, man, this story was like pretty great because it was like intense. You didn't know what the outcome was. I thought the art was really great throughout. Solid art, but it was I thought it was very true to the Fantastic Four and Reed Richards.
I'm not gonna hold you up. This just to highlight the art. We know we're Hickman fanboys here, but even though I can't pronounce his name, even though he had his time on the FF with Hickman, I feel like his style has evolved. Like I was getting, that new Fantastic Four. Well, it's not new, but it came out like 2 years ago. Last year, it was the Ross Fantastic Four book. Yeah. I was getting like those vibes with this art.
And there's Kirby. There's definitely Kirby all over this. Like there's the greats and the foundation of the first family here. Like Joe Sino, some of the inks and the pencils is definitely Kirby and just all those FF vibes for me.
And anyone who's kind of not knowing what to do with Gail Simone coming on the X-Men, I mean, she's got plenty of great books she's written. If you don't feel like tracking something down, you want something a little bit more recent, check out this short story, bro. I think X-Men are in safe hands.
Absolutely. Hell yeah. Next up, we got this Beta Ray tale. What did you think about this one, bro? This was like the weakest of the bunch for me.
Cool. Yeah. It was cool, but it didn't really resonate with me. I don't know if it was because I kept thinking that maybe this would have been doper with Daniel DWJ on art.
Daniel Warren Johnson by the Ray Bell. It's hard to go back. Like then just today, man, I was like looking at that Ryan Stegman variant cover I posted of Better Ray Bell, and then like seeing like his face at the beginning here. It's just like on the left, it's like, okay, that's good, but it's like, come on, man.
It gets so
They like based on what I've been looking at here in like the past couple of months, they just kind of fall short. But yeah, he's kind of like rallying his own army of peeps against the zombie insurgents. Of course, his brother Thor, and he reveals at some point his Corbinite. Of course, much like Reed Richards, Corbinite physiology enables him to like not be able to be turned. I don't think that's like foolproof, bulletproof, but yeah, it's okay. One, my favorite was this one.
Yeah,
this one was badass. I love this one. We got to the gravy real quick. We're here with the what is Warpath in? Is it X-Force, right?
X-Force, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So we're X-Force post-battle. Warpath's like, bruh, hold on. I love when he holds up his arm right here, and it's got on the bottom left, it's got the chunk taken out. And he's like, all right, we all knew this would happen. We're in a fight we can't win. there's one person we all been avoiding this whole time. Now that I'm infected, I'm going after Cable. And I love this. Like, as soon as he shows up, Cable's like, Warpath. And he's like pointing the sword at him. And he's like, Cable, I remember you trained me. I remember all you once were. It hurts me to see you like this. Like, fucking, we're going at it, bro. And like, I love the back. This, speaking of Daniel Warren Johnson, this kind of gave me Daniel Warren Johnson vibes, dude. Like, this action, I love it.
Very explosive energy.
Yeah, dude. Back and forth between them. Cannonball shows up in the last hour to kind of help his boy out. Boom Boom's there, of course. We get this badass scene with it ends up being Warpath versus Cable, blade for blade. Fucking Warpath fucking beheads him in this great scene. Pulls a knife through. His head hits the ground. He picks it up. What you could have done, and then we're like, oh shit, and then Cannonball's like, Warpath, you okay? And then he turns around, he's like, oh, the hunger I must feed. And it's fucked up because like Cannonball's like trying to get the rest of the team out of there, and he's like, I'll come back for you in the last panel. So this was the best one, I thought. Like, some of them, like the Reed Richards story was great and all, but it's like sometimes all you want from a zombie story is
some action, bro.
Yeah, like an action. It operates on these two characters' histories that is kind of embedded, and we just keep it pushing from there. But
yep.
Yeah, this is my favorite one, man. How about you?
These are definitely the Fantastic Four one. I'll give this one the edge just because, like you said, it did have the more explosive action panels, and it was a good example of because like you said, we know if you're aware of Warpath and Cable's history, it's a nice little emotional beat where it's like Jimmy stepping up, or Jimmy, whatever you want to call him, Warpath is stepping up to the plate to do what needs to be done, taking out the guy who taught him everything. He's doing what Cable essentially taught him. Like, he's keeping the ball rolling with what he learned. And it's a true character. I think Warpath, it started with Ed Brubaker's run. That's when I noticed that Warpath, when he came on to the X-Men for a little bit, but then it's like Warpath went to X-Force, and they he had a nice little buzz for a few years where he was like on some sort of X team. He's kind of fallen off in the last few years, but it was cool to see him. Obviously, this writer understands Warpath's history and followed those beats, so it's cool to see them show him. Like, he's a very capable X-Men, and I think people sleep on him. They need to add him back. Oh, the last team I saw him on, and it wasn't even that big, was the underrated Rosenberg Astonishing X-Men with Greg Land, when it was like Warpath, East Havoc. Yeah. But he's such a slept-on character, and I think that was a good example of showcasing why Warpath is a great character in that short story.
Hell yeah, bro. Warpath's man. I want to see more of him.
Rosenberg, man, I felt bad for him. Like, once they announced that Hickman stuff, it was done, man. He was doing a good job too, but yeah.
Give him a chance, people. If you haven't read it, go back, check out Rosenberg's X-Men.
It's really good. Really good.
There's another X-Men story I don't like. Amen, brother.
I like that.
Rise and Fall of the Shi'ar Empire was shit.
That's the Brubaker.
Okay, I was about to say I have not. I gotta read Brubaker X-Men. Like X-Men, he was on X-Men.
It was an Uncanny X-Men.
I've never read that. Okay.
It went from Brubaker, and then he handed off to Matt Fraction.
Oh, okay. All right.
There you
go. Matt, but yeah. Dude, what a team, man. God. They didn't know what they had. I mean, I guess they did in some ways, but Brubaker Fraction, like, oh, God.
It kind of shocked. This is so random, but it shocked me just based on the when Fraction came out, I don't feel like they worked on so much together, but there was a few books where it was like Brubaker was helping Fraction, right? So I thought like Brubaker was Fraction's mentor.
Iron Fist.
I thought like that.
Iron Fist said he was just trying to rein him in. Like, Matt would come in, and it'd be a Monday morning. He'd come in with like 8 different crazy ass ideas, and he'd be like, "All right, let's just distill it down to like 1 or 2 things." And like. But like, he was just like a ball of energy, and he just had to try to contain it. Like you said, that was the nature of it.
I thought, but I always thought they were like really good friends. So it's like when, like years later, when I'm wonderful that Bendis and Fraction are like best buds. But when they started, when Bendis and Fraction would refer to each other in interviews as like really good friends, I'm like, what about Moonraker though? Fraction, weren't you like that's your mentor? Isn't that like your best friend? But I was a younger cat, but it was always weird to me that Bendis and Fraction became such good friends when I don't really think Bendis or Fraction had ever worked on anything together at Marvel, to be honest. So
I think it's
I
because
figured
they're
them being really good friends.
Portland snobs, man. I think this Portland cat.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Portland
Like
collection.
they're like they're all holed up there on that corner of the West Coast. I feel like super exclusive.
No, that makes sense. That actually does make a lot of sense.
I said they should team up the Proud Store brothers since Thunderbirds were
So I fell off of X-Men right before they brought Thunderbird back. So he's still around?
Yeah, I don't know though. I think they brought him back in a one shot, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know though. I don't know. The whole history. But anyway, let's get to the last book of the night. I hate we kind of got to skip through this one, but we've gone late. But Swan Songs number 5. To me, the ad lib issue in number 4 was a little weak. This one, they came back with a vengeance. I thought Alex Ekman Lawn doing the collage type art on this one was amazing. So, every Swan Songs issue is the end of something. This one was the end of Anadonia. Anadonia, I guess in a nutshell, would be described as the inability to experience joy or pleasure, feeling numb or less interested in things that normally brought you joy. And this guy is basically trying to cure that through a hypno session with his hypnotherapy session with his therapist, obviously. Kind of goes back and reconnects with his former inner child, more or less. I guess is the best way to summarize this. I don't know how you guys would say it, but yeah. And kind of, I love this moment where he finally gets to the kid and he asks him, what used to make us happy, and the kid tells him everything. It was the roller coaster rides or this or that, and the food that you would eat that you don't eat anymore because it makes your stomach upset. We used to have comic books. Do you remember that? And just like taking him back through all these old memories. So he kind of like reconnects with his inner child or his former inner child in this journey. We're constantly reminded of that he is under hypnosis through like these narrative bubbles from his therapists who tell him like, you haven't spoken in 15 minutes or something, Albert, or you keep talking or saying this or that, like to let us know he's still under some type of trance. But yeah, I don't know. We come out of it, and he kind of goes off to the candy store, orders the candy that he used to get as a kid. Sitting on the park bench doing. Then he sees a kid whose birthday it is, and is thinking in his head, enjoy it, kiddo. You grow up so fast. But I just love that, like, his whole journey was him going further inside himself. And apologies for everybody out there for kind of skipping through this one, but we're running a bit late. But yeah, it was so good, and the art was incredible. But yeah, I just love this story, basically about a man reconnecting and kind of finding happiness and joy in the little things in life via, finding his inner child. But did you guys read this one, and what did y'all think of it?
Yeah,
I thought it.
Go ahead.
I'll just say, like, I had to read it a second time because it wasn't confusing or nothing, but I wanted to make sure I read the right thing. But yeah, right. I got that the coming of age of this guy, you know what I mean? And like you were talking about when he was looking at the kid, you know what I mean? Like kind of what I'm going through, when I tell people, I'm upset with Peter Pan because he never came to pick me up because I never wanted to grow up, kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But he grew up anyway, and he lost the house is not there no more because they turned it into a mall. Something, at least that's what it said.
That's fact, bro. I've been waiting on Rufio since 1993, bro.
Yeah. They never came. I'm upset with that guy, man. When I see him, I give him a piece of my mind. A Peter Pan guy. Screw that guy, but
That's so true,
it's
bro.
pretty much what this guy mentally is going through. Like he doesn't like adulthood at all, man. He's going back when he was a kid, and kids like he says something like the kids like he says condom. He's like, what's a condom? You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that makes a lot of sense because when you're a kid, you don't think about stuff like that. Like you know what I mean? It's just candy, toys, roller coasters, and all that. That's all you think about. You know what I mean? It was the finer things in life that you got to enjoy as a kid. You didn't have to worry about bills and responsibility and nothing like that. So, and then of course, he probably has to go through this again next time he goes to his therapist or something like that. But I thought it was very well done, and this guy always writes good books. So, I mean, I still enjoy his haha series. So, haha, you know what I'm saying? So I gotta throw that in there. But and then we're gonna get I still yet to read the whole series of Ice Cream Man. I've read a few issues. But now that we're gonna get a tie-in at the end, I can't wait.
Bro, and we get the Shel Silverstein vibes, like where the sidewalk ends. I am so here for this. Hell yeah, Link, how about you, bro?
That's actually I do. Oh yeah. I did great book. Little poignant message there. I did like the whole analyzing. As adults, like Herm saying, life gets more complicated, and as adults we tend to analyze things and is this going to benefit me in the future? Why we analyze our choices, we analyze everything in life, and it's a safety, it's a necessity, a safety precaution, but at the same time it's like a detriment to our enjoyability of certain things. Sometimes as a kid, kids they just enjoy, they don't think about why they like something. They don't try to put reasoning. They'll come up with ideas like, I want a car that can shoot pizzas out of it. As an adult, we're like, that makes no sense. Why would you? Why? Kids don't care about the why. It's just whatever they enjoy, they just go for it. Almost. This isn't meant to be a compliment, but they had kids and dogs in the same sense that they just live moment to moment, bro. They don't worry about the future. They just enjoy what they enjoy, and there's a beauty to that. Life gets heavy, unfortunately, when you get older, and we have a tendency to lose track of that inner child. So I felt this issue because it's something I've been doing over the last few years with myself. Is like I felt like I was experiencing burnout with certain things I had enjoyed my whole life, and I had to get to a point where I was just like, yo, let me just follow what I'm enjoying. I'm not going to think about how much time, if I'm reading this, or I need to get caught up in this, or if I'm playing this or watching this, I'm not, just whatever I'm enjoying at the moment. That's what I'm going to go for, and try to fill in the rest as I go along. But I think it was a cool issue. It speaks to everyone, every adult. We probably have lost our inner child in some sort of sense, and and because life is heavy, and the way to get back to happiness is to reconnect with that inner child. When stop worrying so much, just kind of go with the flow, do what you enjoy. I think it's a powerful message to that, bro. In a few short pages, I think it was a very poignant issue.
Yeah,
in that sense,
right, with very little text. Absolutely. Yes. Oh yeah, bro. Well said. Well said.
Love the art. Very trippy. It was almost like paper mache, almost in certain panels where it's like he was layering the house, or like there was more so the beginning panels that I got like a cool paper mache vibe where it's like
it's definitely
stuff on top of each other.
Yeah. It's like I want to see some of the behind the scenes with some of these. Like, did he cut out these figures and really absolutely. Oh yeah.
But I think it was a compliment to the story because it dealt with like the mind, and thoughts and things can be so abstract sometimes when we're thinking of stuff, and it doesn't always make sense in our head. Hopefully I'm articulating that well.
No, dude, hell yeah. No,
I think
that's a great take on
that. But no, a great recommendation. This is probably a book I want to have read if you hadn't recommended. So thank you, Stu, for putting this one on my radar. I appreciate that.
Hell yeah, bro. I'm glad you appreciate it. Yeah, absolutely. All right, so real quick before we get to next week's comics and the PCP lineup. This was on the possibility for tonight, Herm. I just wanted to do a temperature check-in, something that's killing the children, number 35. Seemed like the end of a big arc here where these are two connecting covers. I forget who the artist was, but yeah, Herm, how are you feeling about? So Lynk and I are both kind of in the same boat where I had the first 2 or 3 trades and then kind of dropped off. I know Lynk said he dropped off around like what, issue 13 or so. But yeah, Herm, I know you've been keeping up. How you feeling just like with this series overall? You know, I know it got flack there in the 20s, like it just, you know, people were upset with it where it was going.
Burn. It was very, very slow. That's how Tynan's been writing this series. Like once you get an arc that's over, the next one, like you very slow. Like you get a lot of the talking, you know what I mean, on some of the issues, and then when it gets good, damn, you gotta wait for the next issue. You know what I mean, kind of thing. And then when you get to the next issue, you get a little bit, and then he pulls away again. It's almost like the old school, like 70s, 60s, 70s type movies. You watch those movies, they never gave you everything all at once. You know what I mean? They made you wait, and it's pretty much what he does. That's old school writing right there. That's like, but you don't get it in movies now.
Claremont style, baby.
Yeah. Everybody wants to rush and all that. That's what he did with the storylines. He's taking an idea and he's extending it. He's giving you all these other characters and trying to, you know, get you to understand the characters and stuff like that. That when you get to this issue, you start caring about the characters. At first you didn't. You're like, all right, what's it with this character? And then you give it a shot, you know, and you're like, oh wow, all right. And these issues you're probably better in a bulk of you read it in bulks, you know, stuff like that. Maybe in a trade, maybe. Some people probably enjoy it more in the trade and everything because you get to the next issue and the next issue. Monthly could probably be a pain in the ass for some people. So I totally get how you guys feel. I get it. You know what I mean? I kept up with it because I still enjoyed that kind of storytelling, and I love the character so much. And I know they went away from it a little bit early in like in the 20s with her origin story and stuff like that. And then they finally gave you this Charlotte Cutter lady, you know, the assassins, which she ended up being from another house. You know what I mean? And you got the slaughterhouse, and this is the Cutter house, which is kind of funny. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So they took someone from another house to take out Erica Slaughter because she didn't like the ways of the houses that they kept everything in secret, and they wanted to slaughter a whole auditorium full of people that found out their whole thing with the monsters and everything and what's going on before it gets out. She stopped that and let the people go out, and that's why. And then she went on her own way. That's why the Cecilia lady went after her and hired this Cutter lady. You know what I'm saying? And along the way, the Cutter lady ended up killing Big Gary, who's a big part of Erica's life.
Yeah, Gary was like, Gary's death hit me like that. That was because he was like the one guy who was like, he was like an ex-member of like the establishment or whatever, but he was still helping her out on the low, and then like they sniffed it out that he was helping her, and like he was one of the first ones that they got. But like, it's definitely like that. That's part of the thing I love about it, though. It deals with like these like the title alone has been always like mad evocative, and I think is such a brilliant choice. Just something that's killing the children, and like. Because when you're first reading those first issues, it's like, man, these crazy ass monsters are eating kids. Like, what the hell is going on? And then you get into this backstory of these houses that have been hunting them, and like the politics that they play, and how it's really like authoritarian control. They want to keep a lid on everything, including like the people under them. And like, she's not really with that, and like her own struggle. But yeah, I don't know. It's been cool in that way, and it was dope to see. Like I told you backstage, like even though I haven't read this in plenty of issues, probably at least 15 to 20. Like I was still able to piece together what was going on. I know they had sent her after her. I knew, Gabby and some of the other characters, like you're still able to like find some accessibility and interest point like issues down the line.
She created like a shapeshifter monster that looked exactly like Erica, who was hunting her down too. So she had to deal with that monster and this cutter chick, you know what I'm saying? And eventually they both got her, tracked her down and stuff like that, and then she ended up having to do her thing in this whole series. And then if you read this issue, you got the throwdown. That's what everybody wanted to see out of everything. And I thought they did a good job in it. And it kind of breaks your heart at the end of some of that stuff that happens. I don't want to spoil it in case people actually want to pick this one up and stuff like that. But you get that whole thing. They tell you about the whole family stuff and how the houses connect and stuff like that. Little by little, it's not a whole. Like I said, every issue has a little bit of something in it that shows you what's going on with all the houses and shit like that. And I enjoy the heck out of it. You know what I mean? And how they want Erica, the old dragon, which is the main boss for the slaughterhouse, like demands all that, wants her back training because she's that good. You know what I mean? And the Cecilia lady doesn't want her back, but has no choice but to tell her, I want you back. Even though she says, I'd rather you die. But, you know, if you come back, you know, you'll be welcomed. And train this Gabby girl who witnessed her family die too with these monsters and stuff like that. So it continues on, and I can't wait to see what people think of the ending of this one and how it's going to continue. You know what I mean? Because now stuff hit the fan yet again. And because of the results, Erica's in trouble again. And then, like,
yeah,
that's it. That's all I'll say. I don't want to give more, but that's pretty much the gist of it.
No,
you know what I mean?
No, I appreciate it, bro. Yeah, I was just trying to get a barometer check. Talk said JT4 hasn't provided Erica good supporting cast in these later issues, in my opinion. I can see that. I think like she could definitely use a few more people in her inner circle that aren't like little girls who have been traumatized along the way that she's kind of picked up. I think like another badass type hunter that maybe she could align with would be cool, but we'll see.
But she's a loner too. Like this other shapeshifter set her up, and everybody thinks she's the ones that did it. You know what I mean? And killing all these people. It's hard for her to find people to unite with, and the people that she did unite with end up getting axed. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of that happening.
Fair enough. Yeah,
that's the bad luck. You know what I mean?
It's a hard world to make friends in.
The slaughter luck. You know what I mean? She just has that kind of luck, man. It just doesn't go her way.
But this issue was definitely seemed like the end of the arc. Like you definitely felt like you got your payoff between these two characters here, so that was kind of cool to see.
This issue really paid off. Like, if you skipped a lot of that because of the slowness and the slow storytelling, you want to pick this one up, and this will end it. And that's all. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I am definitely.
Bobby, what up? Rogue says I'm interested to read
Station.
Last arc all together and see if it reads a little better. Yeah, I think I don't know that issue read easy, but yeah, we'll see.
Sometimes with like arcs though, like Herm was saying earlier, some people might flow better in a trade because the momentum might be off for them like month to month. But if they in a trade, it's like sometimes like I said, we get a lot of information nowadays, so a lot can happen in between a month when you read one issue to the next, and it's just like you might have had a stressful month where you're like, you've been so busy, you're like, what? I can't even remember what happened in last issue, you know? Like I have to read, and that can be a lot of, some people don't want to have to reread that issue 5 just to get acclimated with issue 6. So in that sense, I can see why rereading it back to back would flow together. You don't have to be interrupted. The momentum can keep going. So I'm gonna check that out myself.
You might forget some characters too. I was like, oh yeah, that character was there. They'll come back a couple issues later, and you're like, oh, okay. You know what I mean?
Like, oh, yeah.
I think I remember them.
Word. All right, so, Herm, first of all, bro, thanks for coming on tonight, man. Thanks for making time. I'm glad we could finally make this happen. We'd love to have you back as soon as possible, bro. But yeah, thanks for making the time, and and reading these comics with us tonight,
No
bro.
problem, man. Thanks for having me. This was a blast, man. Hopefully next time I could have like maybe I give you guys a little more heads up of which show I could do, and then have a heads up of which issues, and I could get to read all the issues on the thing, because
hell yeah,
those other
absolutely,
issues
bro.
I haven't read look badass, man. It's so good, man. So comics is great, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can't read them all sometimes.
Some weeks you get your like number ones and number twos, and it's like easy to pick. Some weeks it's like you get your series where they're like further along, and you just gotta, you know what I mean? You just gotta kind of go with the flow and hope it all works. But yeah. Regardless, bro. Love your energy, love what you're doing, always. Like I love what Fable said last night when I told him you were gonna be on. He's like, bro, you're gonna laugh a lot. And yeah, I always love like the lighthearted, good-natured energy you bring to whatever you're on, bro. So shout out to you. Hell yeah.
I hope you did laugh a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
man.
like, I hope I do good tonight. You know what I mean? I hope these guys have fun.
No, bro. We love having you, bro. Anyway, let's take a look at what we got coming out this week real quick, and then we'll get to the PCP lineup. Batman 140. Y'all been reading Batman? I've been loving Batman.
I'm behind, surprisingly, Batman, but I'm starting to pick it back up. So, hell yeah.
Word.
Is this the first issue after the whole
130,
gang war?
No, so this is the second issue after that. 139 was the first issue after the Gotham War thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
ASM, we get the gang war event starting. Herm, how you feeling about gang war in general?
Here we go. I'm gonna give it a shot. I bought it, so I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna cover at least the main issues and stuff like that with Tom. I did like I said, I like the last series, so hopefully the momentum keeps going, where this ends up being good. You know what I'm saying? Because like I do like the wedding issue that we covered a couple of weeks ago with Tombstone and all that. So this is the aftermath on some of that. You know what I mean? With all the different mob bosses battling each other, and now you got the heroes mixed into it. At least that's what I think this is. But yeah, I'll give it a shot, man. It seems like it could be really good. Let's see.
Word. Taki said gang war is awesome.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, Taki.
I like to hear.
We got JR. Is it JR on?
That's his cover right there.
Yes.
He's on the main run, so
yeah.
That's why Gleason did a few
Daredevil
issues.
covers too right now, isn't he?
Yeah. That's why Gleason did like 4 issues in a row, and then they had some other artists. That way, JR could start this series right here. Okay. And stuff like that. Yeah.
Where X-Men, of course, continues leaning on Uncle Doom for sales. Nothing wrong with that. Doom is happy to oblige. I can't wait to see where that goes. Yeah, Venom. I haven't really been into Venom, but issue 28.
Yeah, you got the Widow being Venom now, so you know what I mean.
It's a bad.
Black Widow Venom, eh?
Yeah, she's Venom now.
Poison Ivy has been dope. I need to get back on that one.
Yeah, me too. I'm
speaking of G. Willow Wilson, yeah. Oh yeah.
Heck yeah.
Fantastic Four. I love this. I love this series. The interiors could be a bit better, but Alex Ross covers. I think the stories have been really solid by Ryan North. It's been
I've been enjoying the Fantastic Four run. I enjoy. Yeah, one of the few issues I'm caught up with. Like a few series.
Stuart, you're muted for.
Sorry, my mic wants to.
It's off again. It was just on.
Damn, we were almost done with the show. He's got the Avengers up there, man. That's a series I'm still getting to.
I got my backup mic. Am I good?
I hear.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're good.
Yeah, FF though. Like, I love what they've been doing with the Ryan North stories. I feel like they're all individually great issues, but they're also building towards like this larger arc. Like the Dino Doom stuff was great. But yeah, I've been loving that series.
Yeah, I mean, they're taking their time with it instead of just rushing into stuff. That's how I feel. You know, they gave you. It's kind of like the first season of any of the shows. They get the beginning feel of it, and then they start really going through the second season of Stefan and stuff like that. That's pretty much what I think
stuff.
Fantastic Four is doing. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Avengers Jed McKay. I'm sticking on with it. We'll see where it goes. Number 8. Transformers number 3. Of course, we're rocking with
Transformers.
that.
I heard we got a buddy that loves that series. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I heard it's been pretty good. Pretty good for him. Yeah. Absolutely. There we are with the JR covers. Great Daredevil Bullseye. That's a dope cover right there. Dark Droid Star Wars continues. Shazam. Heard good things about that Mark Waid run. Invincible Iron Man with Emma and Tony in space. I don't know. Birds of Prey.
Birds of Prey, yes.
Man, look at that cover. Great cover. Leonardo Romero's been killing that. Kelly Thompson, shout out to her. Blue Beetle and Alpha Flight. Damn, Alpha Flight's on number 5 already? Wow. Sacrificers, yes. That's probably one of my most anticipated for next week. Been loving that book. Century number 1 finally drops. Yeah, next week, brother. We're going to put that one on the list?
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, that's automatic, man. You know it's going to be on the list. Come on.
Kill Your Darlings number 3. Superman 78. I heard decent things about that. Kudransky back at it with Blood Commandment. So get ready to read some philosophical essays, folks. Hellboy Winter
Yo,
Special.
Speaking of Kudransky, this is so random, but I was I'm going through my collection, but I don't know when I grabbed this, but it's called Devil's Happy Art. It's an indie comic, but it's early Kudransky artwork. It's I think it came out like 2013, 14. It's not too like far away, but it's just I'm always fascinated by like where artists like their style will start. Like someone like I like to bring up a lot Muhammad Asrar. I probably butchered his name, my mistake. But in like 2010, his artwork was not bad, but I would have never like, yeah, that guy's gonna be one of the next big things, And fast forward, and now like his artwork wasn't really distinct, so it's always cool to see artists evolve and like find their style over the years. And this is almost in the case with like this, like you could look at some of this and you don't really see Kudransky that you know him for now, but it's it's just cool to see where you can kind of see certain elements, but it's not necessarily something like, oh, I could see this guy being a future superstar. But I was just looking at this last night. You brought up Kudransky just now, so I figured.
Oh yeah, bro.
Show that.
Great pick. Rose says, I'm excited to check out Sacrifices number 5. Nice. Transformers 3. Knights number 3. I need to get on Knights, man. Blood Commandment number 2. Subgenre on number 2. I haven't heard about that one.
What is Knights? Is that the one about the monster?
About the what?
It's like takes place in the 90s.
I think so.
Am I thinking of the right? Like, and monsters kind of live in society with like humans.
I think that's it, but I don't know. I think it was issue number 2 or number 1. I heard somebody speaking very highly of, so it made me want to check it out. E says subgenre as well, so I don't know. Guys, tell me about subgenre. I don't know about that one either. Our Bones Dust number 1, Birds of Prey number 3, and of course Batman. Hell yeah, Rogue.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, they're all different monsters. Says Rogue.
Oh, I almost recommended issue 1 for the show.
Okay, we gotta get on that then.
Yeah.
Oh, subgenre is Matt Kent? Oh, hell yeah. Okay, damn. All right, well, I need to find those. Petrolhead number 2. Midnight Show. I've been loving Midnight Show. Colin Bunn's Midnight Show. That's been a lot of fun. Midlife. Thunderbolts number 1. Comes out with this questionable team. We'll see.
I like their cover.
All right. So this week in PCP, Thursday night, please join us on Blood Splatter Chatter, where we go over my pick, Maximum Overdrive, with Steph and Fable and Verno. Of course, I can't wait to go over this one. 9 o'clock Eastern, a classic, one of the first scary. I guess you could call it in the horror genre. Movies that I ever got into as a kid had a profound effect on me as a youngin. The most egregious use of the Green Goblin license without taxation that's ever been performed in movies for sure. But hell yeah, y'all come through on Thursday on Blood Splatter Chatter on YouTube for that one. Herm, what you want to say about the ASM? Go ahead and plug your stuff, bro.
The
Talk
Big
to me.
Herm Show with prime time, baby. The ASM 34 and 35, 32, 34. So I'm like, I was kind of excited there. Never stop.
Oh shit, my bad. Typo.
It's all good. This is the arc I was telling you about earlier. This Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern, me and Tom going back at it again to talk about number 34 and 35. What more could we say? We got Spider-Man with his sins, with bad sins, with for Norman Osborn. He got attacked with the damn sins, and now we're gonna see if Peter Parker, who's become evil, supposedly, if the responsibility, the old Peter Parker can come back out and overcome all the sins that he was given by the Red Queen. You know, it's a pretty interesting
What is
arc.
going on in the Amazing Spider-Man, man?
Yeah. He put on the black suit again and everything, and he's acting like he did when he had the black suit and all that, but worse because obviously, the Green Goblin, he was a killer. So now, you question yourself: is Spider-Man gonna be a killer now? Is he actually gonna take a life? Tune in and see what he does, man, with these two issues. Like I said, Zeb Wells, this is his best run. Of course, Patrick Gleason makes the art. Mwah, beautiful. So check us out Saturday night, man. Me and Primetime Tom. We talk about Spider-Man, man. And if you're not reading it, people come on to just listen to us talk about it, end up liking the issue. Probably won't read it still, but at least they enjoy whatever we do because we try to act the parts and everything, and we have a whole ball of fun with it. So station, everybody, thanks for having me, and check me out Saturday night, man.
Oh man, thanks for coming through, bro. Oh,
yeah.
That's wild. Like the Sin shotgun thing has always been wild to me. Is that guy still around? Like,
nah, he was taken out a long time ago.
Oh, okay.
Stuff like that. He took Norman Osborn's sin. So what Red Goblin did with this her magical staff or something, try to give it back to Norman. You know what I mean? Because Norman's trying to be a good guy, trying to thing, and it was working. And I actually went to go stab him. She ended up getting Spider-Man instead. So that was like, oh snap! He took out Kraven, the current Kraven the Hunter. Spoilers, and buried him alive and put a shotgun in his coffin so he can shoot himself if he doesn't want to get out. Yeah, it was brutal, man.
Damn.
Yeah.
Bro reversed the Kraven's Last Hunt though? That sounds crazy. Hell yeah.
Yeah. It's that like I said, if you haven't read the run, you won't just want to read those 4 issues. It's a lot of fun, man.
Heard that. Nick, of course, has new comic book day haul out and FOC cutoff. Nick at Night every Saturday night. One of the best comic book review shows out there. Y'all make sure you check out at Comic Culture on YouTube. Manny has been killing it with these holiday horror fest videos, going back through animated shows of the 90s/late 80s. Y'all go check him out on Nerdtastic News on YouTube. Shout out to Manny, doing a great job, man. Even his thumbnail game. Look at that thumbnail game, bro. God damn, calm down, Manny.
Always.
Jeez. Go Figure Reviews. The homies, of course, always, doing those X-Men 97 ones look pretty dope. I need to go check those. Jelani and Brooks.
That's the next time.
Always doing the figure reviews. Been doing it for over a year now, I think.
I don't think they had a year yet, but it's
something like that. They're getting close to it. Yeah, they've been at it for a while, so y'all make sure you go check them out. Doing great figure reviews. Great figure reviews week after week. Of course, in this Saturday, 1 p.m., the man, the myth, the legend, Fable, along with Nick, brother Joe. Welcome in Swan Scotty to the channel, 1 p.m. Eastern time, over on at Fable _1 collection _down on YouTube. Y'all make sure y'all go sub up and tune in for that. Fable always puts on, one of the best shows, if not the best show of the week. In addition, on Saturday, he's dominating the game with Throw Your Sets Up Saturday. Y'all make sure you post those sets up. But yeah, make sure you go check out the new episode of Blame Fable and His Amazing Friends this Saturday, man. Anything? Oh, I forgot about the Christmas gifts. I thought we would do real quick before we got out of here. One Christmas gift idea, a book, a recommendation, whatever. I put no really rules on this. I just asked y'all to bring something. Link, did you bring anything, bro? Before we get to it.
Oh, if, like physically we're supposed to show off?
I guess I should have been more specific. It doesn't have to be physically. It can be just a recommendation. But go ahead, bro. I'm gonna grab mine real quick. Go ahead.
All right. I'm not gonna lie. I saw them in just very late, so I was kind of like, shit, bro. I needed some more time to let it ruminate. Let's go with Hawkeye by Matt Fraction and David Aja. Just because it's Christmas, there are some Christmas issues in there, and it's a universal book. I think that can get people into not just comics but superhero comics. It touts a fine line of being indie and superhero. Like, it's just indie enough, it's just superhero enough. But let's go with Fraction's Hawkeye.
Oh, nice pick. Bobby keeps talking about this Christmas party. What am I missing something here with this Christmas party? Bobby keeps talking about a Christmas party.
Baby,
all right, work. I'm sorry. A baby. Did you have anything else you wanted to say on that, Link? I didn't mean to cut you off, bro.
Oh no. Yeah, that's maybe next week I'll come back and there's something I've really thought on. But as of last minute, I'll go with Hawkeye. That's what I'm gonna go.
Heard that. All right, Herm, how about you, bro?
Yeah. So since I talked about it earlier, I might as well talk about it here and grab the book. If you haven't read it, a great gift will be the Miss Marvel Omnibus. With G. Willie Wilson run.
Nice.
Yes.
This is the first volume. It has her. I don't think it's her whole run. This is like her first volume run or something like that. But if you want to see what she's about and stuff like that, and G. Willie Wilson did a great job writing her and stuff like that. Where everybody needs to follow her. Great gift. If any kid that wants to start reading comics, this is perfect. That's why I'm right here.
Absolutely, I completely concur. My daughter loved that run, bro. Yeah, that's such a
excellent
great run.
Excellent. It's 2014 run. The first 19 issues and stuff is in here, and they got a couple of extra issues in here.
Okay.
The point one, yeah. So and then you start enjoying this. I've been waiting to see if they come out with a bigger version with her whole run, but I haven't seen it. But man, you can't go wrong with this one to start them off. You know what I mean? So I kind of cheated, Steph. You know what I mean? Like, I already had it behind me. You know what I mean? So I didn't have to look right there.
Don't be making excuses for him, Herm. You got the same message you did.
I have excuses. No, I'm just.
All right, I shouted this one out on Instagram today, but I want to do so again. I thought it was one of the best books of last year. I still don't think it gets enough love. Catwoman, Lonely City, bro. Written, drawn, lettered by Cliff Chang. This one is so great. Basically deals with Catwoman, who's been locked up for 10 years after this horrible Joker event where Bruce Wayne and a bunch of the Bat family died. And she's basically trying to pull this last heist to get into the Batcave to kind of find out what Bruce's dying words really meant. And it really has this, it's got amazing artwork throughout by Cliff Chang. It's got references to the Darwin Cook, Brubaker era. It's got, thematically, it's got, references to Dark Knight Returns in Year One. I mean, it's very much that story for Selena Kyle and in terms
That's
of
awesome.
Character development and, where it takes her and Catwoman. I think it's one of the very best, if not the best, Catwoman story out there. But it's a Black Label book that was just so great, and exactly like Catwoman's DKR, bro. It really is, because just without the it's not so much politicky, and it's more hopeful. But I think it's very much like she comes out of jail. She's like this weathered, hardened convict. She's lost a step a little bit, but she's still going to try to make it work with what she's got. Like, there's so many elements that kind of parallel Dark Knight Returns in that way. But yeah, man, I think this book is still criminally slept on a year plus later after it came out. I know it took like a while for all the 4 issues to come out, as Chang was making them, but you know, it's out there in Black Label hardcover. Yeah, get it, dude. Get it for anybody who is a Batman fan, is a fan of, you know, this is one of those like artistic achievements where he wrote, drew and lettered this thing, and you know, the story is great, the art is great, so Catwoman moments pretty quick. Yeah. Any last words y'all want to say before we get out of here tonight? Link, I'll let you go first.
Christmas season. With that in mind, you know, just be well to each other.
No, yeah, Herm,
we should be like that throughout the rest of the year, but you know, around Christmas time, there's always that magic. So just be mindful of that, people.
Yeah, man, I agree. Christmas, yeah, I mean, Halloween's my favorite. Don't get me wrong, but you know, Christmas is great too. You know, you can't hate on Christmas. Drink your drinks. You know, be cool about it though. You know what I mean? This is the time of the year to be cool about it. Forgive everybody, and then you can hate people in the new year. You know what I mean? Just, you know, that's all you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? Be cool now, hate later. You know what I mean? That's my motto. You know. And then be cool on Peter Pan. I'll take it easy on Peter Pan to the new year. You know what I mean? I'm mad at him. I'll stop being mad at him for another few weeks, and then I'll be mad at him again after the new year. So, station to all. Have a good night.
Bro, I don't even know how to follow that. I'm just going to repeat what Herm said. Be great now. Be shitty in the new year. Station to all. Have a good night. And Rufy. Oh.